The moment Senator John Kennedy opened his binder and smiled at Adam Schiff, millions of viewers knew they were about to witness something extraordinary. What followed wasn't just a hearing, it was a surgical dismantling of a politician's credibility, performed live on television. It started as another routine congressional hearing in room 216 of the Senate office building. Representative Adam Schiff entered first, looking composed in his tailored suit. His confident stride reflected years of experience in high-stakes hearings. He took his seat at the witness table, ready for what he assumed would be a familiar back and forth. Then Senator John Kennedy stepped in. He moved with intent, binder in hand, glasses perched just so, the picture of calm authority. "The committee will come to order," Kennedy announced, gaveling once with firm resolve. "Congressman Schiff, thank you for joining us today. Your schedule is demanding, and I appreciate your time." His tone was courteous, almost collegial, but the air crackled with anticipation. Viewers at home sensed that beneath the polite words lay a carefully laid trap. Kennedy began by outlining basic principles of ethical information handling, a foundation that would soon highlight Schiff's missteps. Schiff nodded, offering textbook answers. Facts must be verified, disclosures must be timely, conflicts must be addressed openly. But as Kennedy recited exact passages from congressional ethics rules, the audience realized this wasn't small talk. It was a prelude to deeper scrutiny. "Sir," Kennedy continued, "you've made numerous policy statements in public settings. How do you ensure those comments reflect reliable information?" Schiff responded diplomatically, crediting his staff's research and his commitment to transparency. Kennedy smiled, securing agreement on general terms, while mentally checking off items in his binder. The shift was subtle but decisive. Kennedy pulled out a timeline chart, identifying specific occasions when Schiff had described policy outcomes as definitive, only to revise his stance later. "In September of last year, you stated that intelligence clearly showed Russian collusion as fact," Kennedy said calmly. "But by December, your position had changed to evidence suggests. Care to explain?" Schiff hesitated, invoking evolving data and new insights. Before Schiff could fully defend himself, Kennedy laid down the gauntlet. Excerpts from Schiff's own public records, revealing that the intelligence he cited had carried significant caveats. Caveats he didn't disclose. The committee room leaned in. Millions watching online sat in silent astonishment as Kennedy asked, "Why omit that context in your public statement?" Schiff recovered, attributing the oversight to a summary provided by aides. He offered to review documents later, but Kennedy pressed on. "Facts don't mislead, Congressman. Documents can be debated, but verification standards remain constant. Shall we review these now?" When Schiff declined, an on-the-spot audit appearing evasive, the senator's grin widened ever so slightly. He'd won the opening round. Next, Kennedy pivoted to financial disclosures. Another David versus Goliath moment. He produced House Ethics Committee summaries showing repeated omissions, unreported consulting fees, undervalued real estate holdings, untimely amendments made only after external review. "Representative Schiff," Kennedy said, "why is it that your corrections follow scrutiny rather than precede it?" Schiff defended himself, citing voluminous forms and human error, but Kennedy, unruffled, flipped to a spreadsheet. 5 years of repeated amendments, each touching on matters significant enough to raise eyebrows back home. He paused for effect. Transparency means getting it right the first time. When you correct after the fact, it looks like a pattern, not an accident. As tensions rose, Kennedy introduced an ethics advisor under oath, a neutral expert who confirmed that frequent amendments can signal systemic issues and erode public trust. Schiff's face tightened, the weight of testimony pressing on him like a public judgment. In a final blow, Kennedy presented redacted emails from Schiff's staff discussing filing strategy. One read clearly, "File now and amend later to avoid initial scrutiny." Schiff's attempts to downplay this as standard procedure fell flat. "Even the appearance of impropriety can prompt formal inquiries," Kennedy noted with Louisiana directness. By now, viewers were glued to their screens. Kennedy wrapped up with a relatable Louisiana anecdote, a local official whose small reporting shortcuts led to a scandal, costing him his reputation and stalling community projects. "Transparency isn't just a buzzword," Kennedy reminded the room. It's the glue that holds public service together. Schiff offered a curt nod, visibly deflated. The hearing concluded, but Kennedy's methodical approach had accomplished something remarkable. Through meticulous preparation, calm demeanor, and unwavering focus, he had exposed not just individual missteps, but a pattern of evasion. The impact was immediate. Social media erupted with clips of Kennedy's most pointed questions. News outlets dissected every exchange. Political commentators called it a masterclass in accountability. But perhaps most importantly, millions of Americans watched a seasoned legislator demonstrate that in Washington, preparation and persistence can still triumph over political theater. Senator John Kennedy had shown that sometimes the most powerful weapon in politics isn't rhetoric or rage. It's a well-organized binder and the patience to use it properly. In the end, this wasn't just about Adam Schiff's ethics. It was about setting a standard that every public official, regardless of party, should be held to the same rigorous accountability. Kennedy's Louisiana drawl had delivered a universal message. In public service, there are no shortcuts to integrity. If this moment made you pause, reflect, or even cheer, don't let it be the last. Subscribe to Hill Stories for more true political showdowns, deep investigations, and stories that remind us why truth still matters. Like the video if it moved you, drop your thoughts in the comments, and hit the bell so you're always the first to witness the next reckoning.